Welcome to the World Channel. Today, we're going to talk about the evolution of civilization, subpillar. Earth, an insignificant little pile in the universe. If all the planets in the universe compared to sand, the Earth doesn't even count as a grain of sand. But it's amazing. On this little blue dot life was born and persists for over 4 billion years. Since the beginning of life, humans also appear. Human civilization also formed from here. By studying the radiation of the cosmic microwave background, the age of the universe is 13.8 billion years, and there are not more than 20.005. From this point of view, people are small. But have fun, because we're also a civilization in it. The universe in its 13.8 billion years, it is very likely to have been born, as well as destroying countless civilizations. And human civilization, it's only 0.015%. Compared to the age of the universe, if other alien civilizations exist, then in the rest is 99.99985%. How many will be in the rest of that percentage is born? If a civilization goes through 100 million, even a billion years, what they're going to look like and whether they've grown or not. These are really the questions that make us suffer. And I really need an answer. To prove the sentence, we are not alone. 1960 for a former interplanetary astrophysicist named Nikolai Kardashev. After observing by far CTAO2, there's a theory that some civilizations in the universe could be millions ahead of us, or billions of years. He created a system of classifying civilizations as a whole. These civilizations depend mainly on two things: its energy and technology. Energy is a condition, a prerequisite for the development of science and technology. It's the more energy a civilization generates, their technology is more advanced. Every civilization needs energy to thrive. Then, according to energy consumption, it can be used to hypothesize and measure the level of potential civilization. It's called the Kardashev Index. Kardashev originally defined only BA-level civilizations, but the next researchers, based on this model and expanded upon, to level 7. Civilization level 0. It's using the planet's natural resources, like a coal tree, oil and gas for energy. The recognizable sign of this civilization is any missile. It all depends on the propellant. Chemistry degree typewriting. This is equivalent to the infant stage. And children can only leave, but they can't stand and walk. It's a captive civilization on our mother planet. And fortunately, our humanity is now at the level of civilization. Kardashev has proposed some figures that show how much energy does a civilization generate per second. According to him, the first level of civilization need to generate about every second is 10 caps 106 power. And the famous astrophysicist Kardashev has suggested using the median to create a formula for calculating the level of a civilization, where K is the Kardashev index. P is the amount of electricity used by this civilization. It's measured in watts. He calculated the human civilization index as follows. 1973 is about 0.7. Because all of humanity has used 10 terawatt electricity in 1973. And the most recent figure is 2015. Total energy consumption in the world is 550 exawatt, equivalent to 17.5 for terawatts. Then put it in this formula to calculate. The result is 0.72. So humans today is civilization level 0.72. Total energy used over 0.1. That's 10 times the previous level. So 0.7 to 1 is still quite difficult. The famous theoretical physicist Michio Kaku believed that people want to reach first-level civilization. It's going to take 100 to 200 years. And to achieve a first-rate civilization based solely completely into the Earth's natural resources. That's impossible and shouldn't be. Because these things will always run out on a certain day. Then the Earth will be no different than Mars. But to solve this problem, he proposed two solutions. The first is how to make the best use of nuclear power. For example, nuclear fusion technology controllable has been very popular before. However, humans can build nuclear weapons. It doesn't mean people can change their lives. It becomes energy. The current human nuclear power plants, it's just very rudimentary nuclear fission technology. To use the reaction, nuclear fusion, and creating energy takes a big step forward. However, on this Earth, humans are the real masters, nuclear fusion technology, and turn it into clean energy. From using this energy source, people are getting closer to first-rate civilization. And Monday is how to use solar energy better. Solar power generation. These are dark spots on or inside the surface of the sun. This energy is created by continuous nuclear fusion reactions. Even though solar radiation into the Earth's atmosphere, it's only 1.2 billion of its total radiant energy. But the total energy released by the sun for every second is equivalent 35,000 times total energy every year in the world. But to convert direct solar heat into photovoltaics and photochemistry is a problem. In addition, we have a problem with how to collect 10, as well as storing this energy. If you solve the problems mentioned above and increase the use of solar power, that's the key to the leap to civilization. 1. The first level of civilization is literature. Men can use and store all available energy sources on the planet, including hydroelectric, wind, solar power generation, and other available energy sources. And of course, this doesn't exhaust us, all of the planet's resources. Instead, use the energy value that every resource on the planet can achieve. But whether it can produce 10 caps 106 power per second, whether or not we have reached this level of civilization, then we can use all the resources it's available on the planet and skillfully harness the world's output. After a lot of theories, to achieve first-class civilization, we need to pay attention to the following. The first is to master nuclear fusion technology. It can be controlled. The second is to use solar energy efficiently. Wind, geothermal, and clean energy like tidal power. And popularize these energy technologies after achieving first-class civilization. Then from there, we can move freely in the deep sea, inside the Earth's core, as well as low Earth orbit. Out. We can also control the geological activity, atmospheric activity, ocean operations, biosphere, and other natural existences. However, we need to expand our understanding of the microfield to be able to go further. First-class civilization doesn't need fossil fuels because they're limited and they're not sustainable. Instead, natural processes that take place on the planet, such as sunlight, wind, and tide, especially solar power. For example, the idea of solar power, SBSP, so NASA recommendation, is to put these giant solar collectors in the Earth's orbit. It will no longer be affected by the diffusion caused by the Earth's atmosphere when you put it in this position, thereby doubling the efficiency of use, not affected by night. The rest is how to be able to convert energy, the sun, into electricity efficiently. So getting energy is as easy as getting oxygen. This is a first-class civilian missile. We don't use chemical fuels anymore because the missile chemical fuels are limited in speed. Even the speed of the BA universe can't be exceeded. It means you can't escape out of the solar system. So first-rate civilization will replace it with full-throttle lithium-ion positron catalytic fusion filling machine with the photon rocket engine, from which we can easily get past the BA level auxiliary speed. But energy capture only manifests to first-level civilization. Civilization is now evolving into a global. Really? The world will have a common language. It will be promoted as a language, officially all over the world, and the mother tongue becomes the dialect. So far, English is the best. If possible, use Vietnamese. However, this change depends on the development and the transformation of the future world structure from the above. Then we also need a joint and cryptocurrency. Now there's an effort in this area. It's even more impressive. This should be first-class civilization. It can also control the planet's weather, concerns about global warming, and sea level rise. It will no longer be a problem. When you control the weather, will save us from the danger of falling into the next ice age. Of course then, we can also set the weather exactly, and the weather program will no longer be wrong. Along with this control, the world will coordinate its rainwater better. It will rain more in dry areas and wet areas with little rain. All-year weather may be issued in the future. You can make different plans for next year. This includes shopping for travel clothes, visiting neighbors, and so on. Humanity has reached first-class civilization. They can control production, the energy of the entire planet, like rivers and land and oceans. Even control the rise and fall of matter inside the crust. People are cured of most diseases. Life expectancy will be further improved, reaching the limit of natural life expectancy. It's about 150 years old. People will also be in heaven, under the sea, underground, building of different living facilities. Humans will also travel throughout the solar system and all over the planet. Then we'll retrofit the moon, South, Mars, and Venus to turn it into a viable planet, living like the Earth. At this stage, people began to formally come into contact with alien civilization, of all the alien civilizations, to the Earth openly, and established initial diplomatic relations with us. Then we begin to understand that there are alien civilization temples, the villain in the universe, based on the fear of enemy civilizations. We're starting to develop more of the military, as well as using more advanced washing machines to be able to detect an enemy and destroy it. Theoretical physicist Michio Kaku estimates that, so that people can reach the full technological level of first-rate civilization, it's going to take another 3,000 years. So what about second-level civilization? In this civilization, we can control the total energy of stars. The closest example is that we control the sun. Maybe you don't know. The star, it's the largest source of energy in the galaxy. And when the planet where there's a first-rate civilization want to break through to level 2, it's just mining the moon, star Mars, Venus, isn't able to meet the demand for this promotion. And the prerequisite is to make cell able to harness the necessary energy for the advancement of civilization. Then the stars will become a source of energy for the next step. 1959. The famous American theoretical physicist Freeman Dyson, who was Einstein's assistant, believed that the energy needs of any platform, what technology civilization is developing, and survive long enough, it's definitely inevitable. One day we're going to have to increase energy. This is the time used to output full energy of the mother star cell. He believes that at this time, we need to create a system that can control it, harnessing a large amount of energy from the SAO star mom. It's from this theory that the term stadium sphere was born. Stadium radiosphere is to use giant man-made structures, completely envelop the South Star and get most of it, or all the energy that comes out of it. This structure is estimated to have a diameter will exceed 200,000 kilometers. You believe that such structures can exist in the universe a long time. It meets the needs of a civilization. Energy consumption is increasing. But there's a lot of conflicting opinions that it's just so illogical. Because to do such a superstructure, need too many materials. Even using all of the solar system's material, you can't build a stadium. Why did you say it's impossible? Because this ball would have to be bigger than the sun. that the Sun, it accounts for 99.86% of the mass of the entire solar system. On the other hand, with the giant gravity of Sao Mother, the spherical structure of this technology is not reasonable. Is there a way to solve this problem or not? To solve the problem of the paint belt sphere, then we have the three most reasonable choices. The first is the ring. This option uses a variety of cell collections. It's arranged in a circle. The orbital radius of an astronomical unit, the distance between the Sun and the Earth, about 150 million kilometers. The center of the mammal is evenly distributed around the with deviation angle be a degree. Such a structure could use 1% of the star's energy. So, you see this number is too small. Right, it's not. This energy value is already great. The second solution is called the Yard radio herd. It includes a large number of independent structures around a star. All the independent structures, they're all artificially intelligent robots. These structures are both SAO energy harvesters. They are small cities, directly provide the perfect living environment. And at the same time, there is an almost infinite amount of energy. The third solution is called the radio bubble. This solution doesn't use the orbital method, but through the enormous light pressure. And from these pressures, we've made solar sails to counteract its own gravity. There's a lot of problems with this method in practice, but for a second-rate civilization, then we have the potential to do that with this solution. In theory, if built and deployed around a SAO, and that's enough about the number of satellite sails, then an fixed-pitch radio sphere can be formed. This structure has the advantage of withstanding great pressure. Doesn't have to be supermassive, according to the requirements of the grass. At the same time, it can absorb most of the energy of the star. But the downside is that Taiwan's bubble cover yard with fixed structure, plus the same optical and temperature properties. So, it's will be discovered by other space civilizations. 2009 Kepler Space Telescope. To be born in the search for alien life. This telescope is used for tracking purposes. Constellation South Swans and Swans accurately monitor the brightness of more than 150,000 South stars. In September 2015, a star SAO with the code KIC8 for 6 to 8 years too. 1,400 light-years from Earth has been discovered. After a long time tracking, they discovered there's some unexplained phenomena happening here. American female astronomer Tabby Kim analyzed this problem and published a research paper detailing it. She called this star the Star of Tabby. As the picture shows on the video, you can see that when a normal planet passing in front of a star SAO, the brightness of the star will decrease. A symmetrical descending curve and smooth appearance on the Kwong solid curve. When a planet passes through an SAO star, the brightness of the star will be reduced by 1%. Giant planets like Jupiter, passing through the Sun, it'll only reduce the Sun's brightness by 1%. But the star of these three marbles, for the first time being observed, reduced the brightness by up to 15%. The second time, the brightness decreased by 22%. There seems to be something very broad cover the light of the SAO Tabby. And when scientists looked at it for the third time, then they surmised that there's a planet 5 times the radius of Jupiter. It's already there, but it's still not explained at SAO. The brightness of this star is constantly changing, and there are no planets. This state is observed in space so far. So, this sticks open to the existence of the radio ball pitch. And an anonymous person bought this room in Code Mix Sandbox software. As we see it, if the brightness of the SAO Tabby star is blocked 22%, so what's stopping it? This is especially true in the science film Arrivo fiction. And a giant machine has caused this phenomenon. Inconsistent brightness changes of the star SA shows that it's possible that there's a giant object here. You can change the position at will and can customize different power levels. Do you think that, is this the playground or not? If this is really a playground sphere in the Swan constellation, there must be a second-rate civilization that's at least 100,000 years ahead of humans. After humans reach level 2 civilization, the whole Earth will gradually unify, become a whole. No more national and regional boundaries. The concept of race is also disappearing. There is only one race now. They are called Earthlings. Michio Kaku said that humans will reach level 2 civilization in 100,000 to 1 million years. Civilization level BA is the galactic civilization. It can be controlled, developing the energy of the entire host galaxy. BA citizens can use the same technology as second-level citizens, but this civilization was able to bring technology to the stars and spread across the galaxy. At the center of each galaxy, there will be a giant black hole, and galaxies may be orbiting this black hole. So this supermassive black hole, it will also be a source of energy. If the core of the black hole is a white hole, and in theory, third-level civilization can also use and collect an ejected material to provide a large amount of energy, and BA civilization could have mastered it. They also have anti-gravity thrusters, quantum thrusters, interstellar jets that we now have in the imaginary phase. The space jump has been achieved. Intergalactic travel has become possible. This civilization has completely cured all diseases and the ability to sustain life forever. In many different ways. As consciousness shifts, biochemistry, the body stores memories. It can be said that life is infinite, but death, it's inevitable at this stage of civilization. For example, Sao stores destroyed memory. So civilized BA level has been able to build some kind of network, the connection between the stars, and do the space jump. This civilization also began to learn about the existence of other civilizations in this galaxy. But due to the expansion of the galaxy, it's in conflict with other civilizations. It's inevitable. War between the stars will be inevitable. This level of civilization will join the Galactic Federation and become part of the whole League of Heroes. In this case, everything will have to be done according to the rules. For example, not actively contacting. With the planet still in zero-grade civilization, you can only see it under certain conditions. And then we'll set up a reserve. In every zero-level civilization in the galaxy, civilizations at BA level, they are also responsible for protecting civilizations in these areas. Civilization at the BA level has also reached the point Kardashev believes that's the limit. He said that civilization could not develop further after reaching the BA level. But the problem is, if BA level civilization is the last civilization, is our universe too predictable? So how did the universe actually form? I'll explain in the next video. And that video, I'm going to talk about civilizations from level 4 to level 7 of superhuman civilizations.